Welcome to Prophecy News Update. I'm Tom Gilbreth. This week we look at a different kind of prophecy news. 3 great reasons to trust the Bible. Let's get right to it. Reason 1, present-day fulfillment of Bible prophecies. I'm not going to spend much time on this one because I cover it every week. When we talk about COVID-19 and prophecies of pestilence in the last days, that's present-day fulfillment of Bible prophecy. Of course, the present pandemic would mean little if it were alone. We've had plagues before, bigger than this one. The difference is that this time Israel exists. That's the sign that gives other signs their force. The other difference is a growing convergence of all the biblical signs. Just remember, every time you see Bible prophecy fulfilled, you're seeing evidence that you can trust the Bible in every area of your life. Reason 2, fulfillment of Bible prophecy in the life of Jesus. We can conservatively say that Jesus fulfilled 200 messianic prophecies from the Old Testament. These prophecies served as the Lord's calling card and as his credentials. He didn't just come out of nowhere and say, "Here I am." God prepared the way with hundreds of years of prophecy to confirm the identity of Jesus as Son of God and Messiah of Israel. For instance, the Messiah had to be an Israeli of the tribe of Judah, the family of Jesse, and a direct descendant of King David. In death, he had to be ridiculed, pierced, and surrounded by Gentiles. Keep in mind that with a few exceptions, the prophetic scriptures were not chosen after the fact because they happened to fit Jesus. Jewish scholars knew centuries in advance that these scriptures were about the coming Messiah. The question is, could it all have been a coincidence? In 1952, Peter Stoner was chairman of the departments of mathematics and astronomy at Pasadena College. He wrote a book called Science Speaks. In it, he applied the science of probability to show the impossible odds against Jesus by chance fulfilling a significant number of Bible prophecies. Stoner's research became well known in 1972 when Josh McDowell included it in his book, Evidence That Demands a Verdict. This is a recently updated edition, and it still has that research. In his first illustration, Dr. Stoner used just 8 prophecies. The Messiah would be born in Bethlehem, preceded by a messenger, sold out by a friend. The sellout price would be exactly 30 pieces of silver, not 29 or 31, not 9 or 52, but exactly 30. The betrayal money would be thrown into the house of God and used to buy a potter's field. The Messiah would be silent before his accusers. His hands and feet would be pierced. He would die counted as a criminal. Using just these 8 prophecies, Stoner came to conclusions which the American Scientific Affiliation deemed dependable and accurate in regard to the scientific material presented. The mathematical analysis included is based upon principles of probability, which are thoroughly sound. Dr. Stoner reported, "We find that the chance that any man might have lived down to the present time and fulfilled all 8 prophecies is 1 in 10 to the 17th power. Here's what that number looks like written out. 1 chance in 100 quadrillion. Difficult to fathom, right? To help us, Dr. Stoner illustrated it. He said, "We take 100 quadrillion silver dollars and lay them on the face of Texas. They will cover all of the state 2 feet deep. Now mark one of these silver dollars and stir the whole mass thoroughly, all over the state. Blindfold a man and tell him that he can travel as far as he wishes, but he must pick up 1 silver dollar and say that this is the right one. What chance would he have of getting the right one? Just the same chance that the prophets would have had of writing these 8 prophecies and having them all come true in any one man from their day to the present day, providing they wrote them according to their own wisdom." Now, maybe you've heard this illustration before, but how much have you thought about it? Look at the room you're in right now. Nice room. Now imagine it with every square inch covered in 2 feet of silver dollars. That's already a lot of silver dollars. Now think about your front yard. Think about the street where you live, full of silver dollars, 2 feet deep. Imagine silver dollars filling all the yards along the streets and across the houses in your neighborhood, in your town. Have you ever driven across Texas? It's my home state and I love the place, but not everyone does. My experience is that those who hate it most are people whose introduction to it was a drive across it, maybe from El Paso to Texarkana. Imagine just the highway, as far as you can see, covered in 2 feet of silver dollars. Now think about the vast stretches of land between those highways. Think about the flatlands of the Panhandle, the long stretches of desert in extreme West Texas. Think about the hill country and the coast. Imagine it covering Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. Imagine 2 feet of silver dollars over all those cotton fields and pasture land. And it just goes on and on. Silver dollars 2 feet high across that vast area. And one of them, just one, has a mark. The blindfolded man has one try and nothing but chance to help him. Those are the odds against these 8 prophecies being fulfilled by coincidence. And those are not just the odds against Jesus fulfilling all the prophecies. Those are the odds against anyone on the face of the earth fulfilling those prophecies. And they happen to have been fulfilled by someone who performed miracles, claimed to be the Messiah, and rose from the dead. Of course, there aren't just 8 prophecies, there are hundreds. Add to the number of prophecies, and the other numbers go into realms that are truly unfathomable. But for me, the state of Texas, 2 feet deep in silver dollars, is enough. We've looked at 2 great reasons to trust the Bible. Reason 1 was present-day fulfillment of Bible prophecy. Reason 2 was fulfillment of prophecy in the life of Jesus. And now a third great reason to trust the Bible, because you know it's true. You know that Jesus is who he says he is. Ephesians 2:8 says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God." Faith is a gift from God. He has given you a measure of faith. I don't mean all your questions have been answered. You'll have lots of questions all through life. What I mean is that you just know this is true. Something deeper than your DNA tells you this is true. Now, I'm not asking anyone to take a blind leap of faith based on feelings. In the last few minutes, I think I've shown that the Christian faith is not a blind faith. It is not a leap in the dark. Christian faith is a thoughtful step into the light, but it's about more than thought. There are reasons that 2 billion people on this planet profess, to one extent or another, to be followers of Jesus. How many of them have really turned their lives over to him? I don't know. But I do know this. At this very moment, some of these people are refusing to deny their allegiance to Jesus, even as they suffer cruel, unrelenting torture and the constant threat of death. They're holding fast to something more precious than life itself. Would you like to be a part of something that important? Would you like for your life to have that level of meaning and purpose? Meaning and purpose with eternal, unending ramifications of joy and peace. You can pray a prayer of faith right now. Tell him you need him. Tell him why. You can't pay your debt to God, so Jesus did it for you. If you have questions, you can reach me at my website, tomgilbreth.com. Before I end this episode, I want to send out a thank you to Hal Lindsey and his ministry team. I started doing research for Hal in 2008 and began working with him on a regular basis starting in 2013. Working with Hal Lindsey has been one of the great pleasures of my life. In a variety of ways, more than even they know, Hal and his wife Jolene have made this program possible. I will still be working with Hal on other projects, but he has completed his role in helping us get this program off the ground, and I am eternally grateful. There's a good chance that you've found Prophecy News Update through Hal's website, hallindsey.com. If you'd like to keep watching this program in the future, you'll need to find us another way, either through YouTube, Facebook, or at tomgilbreth.com. God willing, I'll see you again. I hope soon.